Howdy everyone, Ilias Leonidas here for part 5 of our Byzantium playthrough. Picking up where we left off in part 4, we just conquered this coastal region of Kandar, and we're trying to still rebuild our army. We were looking towards building a spy network, that way we could fabricate 2 claims on these Theodoran territories, and that way we could expand up north here. By declaring war on Theodora, we'd be able to take those 2 provinces from them, and they should, since they're allied with Trebizond, call them in, and we should be able to, in the short term, I think I was going to try to use them as a vassal. But while looking at some stuff, I actually think what we might do is we're going to cancel our alliance with Karaman, and the reason why we're going to do that is we instead are going to try to build an alliance with Georgia. And Georgia is right now at war with the AQ, and they're actually winning by a pretty good margin. And the reason why this kind of interests me is because of since Karaman is not helping the AQ, hopefully that means Georgia will be able to win. Let's hold up for a second. Let's gain 5 prestige. What that hopefully means is AQ will be able to win, and we can use their victory. Hopefully Georgia can win, and that way we can use the Georgian victory to help kind of build this alliance against Karaman. Not only that, but getting rid of this Karaman alliance will improve relations with Wallachia, since Karaman is one of the rivals. And they're holding very key provinces of mine that I would like to take off their hands. So I think what we're going to try to do then is break our alliance. First got to have an open Serbia. Pretty good. Serbia is going to be a marsh. There's nothing we're really going to too drastically do. I need to keep an eye out for Hungary, see if they go to war with anyone. If they go to war with anyone, we can jump on that and attack Ragusa. Hungary actually doesn't hate me, though I'm not sure we can really get an alliance for sure out of them. We might try to improve relations, especially by dissolving this alliance right here. And the other reason is Karaman only has 10k, and it seems like they're really not trying to build up an army at all. And, you know, for that very reason, there's no real reason for me to maintain a weakened alliance like that. I might as well either maintain a different alliance or just not waste the time. We can boost stability, but I think we're getting closer to a tech. Yeah, we are. So I'd really not like to do that, because then we'd at least be caught up to on administrative tech. So we're going to probably just harsh treatment these rebels for now. The Ottoman rebels, I am actually going to let rebel, because we should have enough men by that time, and they are going to likely rebel in Bula. So if they rebel in Bula, we should be okay. Should be able to get these 2 armies together and take out that Ottoman stack pretty easily. The same thing with Kandar. It's only 12k, but I just want to hold off on fighting. It's about 4,000 more, so just want to hold off a little bit more on that. We are making a decent amount of money back, and in the previous part we did pay back 2 of our 4 loans, so we're doing pretty good on that front. Trebizond, let's fabricate our first claim, and actually we can only get 1 claim, it appears, and it'll be on Theodora itself, which is alright. That just means we'll stop building a spy network now. If we go after Theodora, we will actually be able to take them without much trouble right now. The only issue is Trebizond isn't going to help them, but I'm actually very tempted to still potentially kind of just take that deal. We're going to join an alliance with Georgia, and Georgia's actually asking us to assist them by helping them. I'm a little confused on how we have to join them since we became allies after the fact, but I'm actually going to help them because what we can do along with that is let Trebizond hopefully get its finances in order, and that way they will defend. So Karaman isn't attacking us, which is perfect. We do have too many diplomatic relations, which is fine as of right now. We're still allied with Circassia, which actually isn't as bad of a deal now, given the fact that they expanded. What we're going to do is, well, we're going to come back here and deal with this rebels first, and then we're going to go assist Georgia, as it looks like the AQ actually don't have anyone in their country really to help them. Oh no, and as I say that, of course, they're probably going to get stack wipe, yep. So that would have been really important and really nice to hold on to that amount, but at least what we'll do here is we'll get rid of some of these rebel problems pretty quickly. I want, hopefully, our Serbian forces to join up with us. Trustworthy allies. We can't core that state quite yet. What we're going to do is head over here. We're just going to wait a second till hopefully this Ottoman force rebels. Finally, we can catch up a little bit on Dip Tech. We're on Tech 5 now. We're still probably a ways behind. Yep, still pretty orange compared to a lot of the other places, but that's better. At least we're not in the red. Our enemies, I do not believe, have any territory that is by the ocean. Karaman is actually not in the war, interestingly enough. And I was about to move my forces away because I really want Serbia to not go wildly into attacking, but unfortunately they have gone ahead. I'm not sure if, I think it's because I have those troops parked down here is why it's not already of. Yep. So we're gonna come back here and deal with this first. Once we deal with that, we should have enough troops to take care of everything, and we should get, yep, a little bit of assistance from some of these Georgian troops. We have our first idea group that we should be able to get. Now, for ideal groups, there's a couple different things we could go with. There is the organized mercenaries, core creation, which is good, mercenary maintenance, lower interest, larger availability of mercenaries, advisors, and administrative technology. And that's in the admin tech group. That's very tempting to me. There's also influence ideas, which just makes it so our vassals will pay us more, which we have Serbia right now, but we plan on getting more. Will decrease their desire to rebel or leave us. Minus 25 on the Diplo annexation cost, which is a huge deal. We get another diplomatic relation, another +2 diplomatic reputation. Our envoys get places faster, and our vassal force limit is increased by 100%, meaning they can field bigger armies, which means they can help us out drastically. I am thinking I'm going to take influence ideas first. There's also humanist ideas, which are good for kind of our problems we're having as far as religious unity, national unrest, years of separatism, and allowing for greater cultural kind of hegemony in a multicultural empire, so you can maintain a lot of, like how I have many Turkish provinces that are Turkish with Sunni group beliefs. It helps you just kind of maintain a larger empire like that. So I'm really torn actually now thinking about it between humanist and influence. I believe, yeah, Foreign Aid Act. So these two do somewhat complement each other, so I think we'll eventually grab both, but I'm trying to think in the short term what we want to do. In the short term, it may be better for us to get the humanist ideas, especially if we're planning on taking a lot of this. I mean, we have already taken a decent amount of this Turkic land that is Sunni. So by taking humanist ideas, we should actually be able to kind of quell some of this ridiculous rebellions we're dealing with. Some people like to do religious ideas are good if you want to make your country singularly hegemonic in one religion. It just makes it easier to force everything to one religion, which is ideal, but it sometimes takes a lot longer, whereas this kind of just makes everyone calm down a bit in your empire, so you can just have a little bit larger of an empire. And I think, unfortunately, that's taking, specifically if we go after a lot of Anatolia and some of these other regions around the Black Sea, there are just too many provinces that are not orthodox and will not be super friendly to us. So this is a very tough decision. It also matters. The other big thing is we are ahead in admin, so I can waste some admin tech right now on humanist ideas, versus Diplo, we're already behind, and wasting Diplo tech right now into this means we'll get further behind. So I'm going to take humanist, and that way we can eventually calm down some of our rebellion issues, and we can stop hopefully having all these pop-up rebellions occur like we've been having. What we're going to try to do now is get in here and hopefully carpet siege most, if not all, of AQ. Now, they have rebels actually forming the country, which is good, but also very bad for us because they could potentially attack and destroy us or our allies kind of quickly, which is something we really, really, really don't want. Unfortunately, we'll send this army down here. That should hopefully mean that this army can take care of some stuff. We're going to move our troops here to take Maleta. We'll keep an eye out just in case if they start moving north. The last thing we want is for them to attack us, and we're actually going to move this forces into here. I was thinking maybe AQ is coming back to deal with us, but no, they're staying over by their side, so we're gonna get some of this land court up. Unrest, we're not dealing with too great of unrest right this very second. Luckily, Georgia just won that war, so this is actually perfect for us. It means we can go back home. It didn't drag on too long. It didn't cost us too terribly much. But this way we also got to honor and maintain this alliance we have with Georgia. And I think they will be a great ally to have in the long term. I'm going to ask them for fleet basing rights. They're asking for a royal marriage. We are really going to try to get as much as we can. Shivrin, separatist. If they give me... If we can get access to... We have to wait till November 2nd. Military access. I want to come in here and I am kind of willing to help them take care of their rebel problem, because if they don't and a large portion of their country breaks away, that is actually not good for us either. So we want to help maintain our little ally here. Kandar is at war with Karaman, and Karaman is probably going to eat them, which is not the greatest thing for us, because that means Karaman is going to get just that much bit stronger. Okay, we got our troops over here in Georgia. So I don't dislike having the fortress here in Sinope. We'll keep that. I just want to... There's no real reason to maintain these forts right now. It just cost us a lot of money we don't necessarily have. We're going to repay another loan, which is awesome. So now we're down to only a single loan. And we just cored the last of our provinces. So we're going to move on and attack, see if we can win this battle for Georgia. And it looks like we will. We might just take a bit of losses. It looks like 4 or 5k, which isn't great, but there you have it. We have crushed their rebels for them. Normally I wouldn't do this unless they're maybe a vassal, but right now we're not really having any huge routes for expansion. We need to maintain a decent size ally like Georgia. As much as I would love to ally with you, Trebizond, I'm not going to ally with you right this second. Just because I want to attack Theodora, and hopefully you'll come to Theodora's aid when I do. And if you do that, then we can make you a vassal, and that would be perfect for us to have on the eastern side, especially beating up AQ. We could take some land from AQ and give it to Georgia, or give it to Trebizond if they're our ally. Now, I could be wrong, but I think Georgia just handed a province over to Chevron, which really pisses me off because I did all that work to help them and sacrificed a good amount of my men just to do that. So I guess lesson here is don't help your allies. Well, Nis is not happy, but it's fine. It'll be a long time before Nis would be a problem for us. One day I hope to hit that button and see Hungary will not assist the little country. We're actually going to move our troops over to Sofia just because I think our next big thing we'll have going will be over there. We're no longer behind in admin tech, which is great. We're right on track. We're now yellow, which is awesome. I'm so happy. We're no longer hideously behind. They are at war with Poland, Naxos, Venice. So, Venice is at war. We are going to let Hungary march through. But before we let anything go too much far further, Venice is at war with Pomerania. This is a punitive war, so while Venice might get beaten up on, I'm not sure if I want to. I don't think we're in a position to really declare war and attack. My only hope is if these guys could be undefended. Now, unfortunately, it looks like Serbia actually lost its claim over there. We have a decent amount of money. We could pay back our loan, and we will definitely get to that. But actually, I want to build that in Edirne. That just means even more financial growth for us. Where is it? There. Forgot where our little navy was. And I'd be a little bit more confident, but unfortunately our navy is just still not quite strong enough to... Wallachia, Circassio would be more than down to help us, but we would lose that war. We would lose that war pretty bad, guys. Perfect timing, so we get some Miltech. That means we're going to only be behind that 5%, so that means should be about only 1 Miltech behind now. Yeah, yep, it looks like it. Unless Florence is... No, Florence is the top country right now, and they have straight 6s. So we're at straight 5s now, so it's not too bad. We're behind still, but we're not desperately so far behind. It's embarrassing for us in a war. So Byzantium and Karaman, we are both looking pretty big. We've kind of dissolved this alliance, which, you know, it's unfortunate, but at the same time, Karaman has just not really been a strong force, so I'm not sure if I really want Karaman being there. We have Ottoman rebels breaking out, which means we are potentially going to go really quickly. So we're going to shift our army back over here to the east. While it'd be great to jump on and attack Venice, we would only get Wallachia to join us. Bulgaria would attack us. That's actually not the worst thing, but I think what I wanted to have happen is let's just wait it out. If Venice kind of gets in more dire straits, then maybe we'll join. Just because, again, we don't have an absolute ton of troops. And unfortunately, the Ottoman rebels did not finish sieging this province and instead fled. Serbia is wanting to rebel, but it's not too big of a deal. So I've been trying to wait for Trebizond so I can get them into this war, but financially they're just devastated. And unfortunately, if I don't act soon enough, Crimean rebels are going to rebel and overtake it. And unfortunately, Genoa has now taken out the rest of Crimea. So basically, I either jump at this land and take it for myself, or I allow Genoa to take it from me. And I would really, really not want that to happen. So I can get to there. Unfortunately, well, I can definitely ask for access from Circassia. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get access from Genoa since we're rivals. So Theodora, I think we're going to declare war on you. I'm not going to call any of my allies in just because it doesn't really make any sense to. It's not a large enough threat. Maybe if we start really badly losing this war, then we'll think about it. And I'm glad we're not too serious thinking about attacking Venice because it looks like they're actually not struggling. It looks like they're doing really well. And okay, so perfect timing. They're starting to move forces off of their capital. So hopefully we can get our men here. And we're going to transport, I believe we have 9, so we should get 9k the first go. Oh no, and then, okay, we were able to stop it before we got there. I don't think Theodora is necessarily super strong, but the last thing I really want is Theodora. Oh, and so this might work out in our favor. Quite a bit. Theodora might get crushed here. The only thing that would be... And... perfect. So we're able to get them... Hopefully we're able to get all our men across here and into Crimea. What we're going to want to do is siege down this fort, and when this army's gone, come back and siege back this province to make sure it doesn't break away back to Crimea or reform Crimea. Bulgarian Kandar would be mad at me. We're going to repay our last loan, so perfect. And we're making a pretty decent amount of money, especially we don't have any war taxes or anything going on. Just making quite a bit of bank, basically. We can now invest in an idea. Since we are we're not ahead, but we're not doing too bad, we're going to go ahead and do it. My biggest thing is I wanted to get to this idea right here. And once we unlock that idea, the local traditions, -2 unrest, that should really help us with not having rebellions kick off every 30 seconds as it used to seem in our country. So, going perfect up here. There's a little bit of an unfortunate thing going on here. We got some Ottoman rebels creating separatism down here, and that is really not what I want to have going on. Get some administrative tech. we'll come back and deal with these rebels once we've taken care of Crimea. We pushed out their fleet and we crushed their fleet. We didn't take a single casualty, it seems. So that was perfect. And what we're actually going to do is come down here. I'm not sure it really does much, but we're just going to blockade this rebel fort, this rebel port. So we're going to get rid of that just so I don't accidentally call our allies in. See, we are actually quite a bit underneath our military force limit, but we need to first get... We first need to get our military back up to shape anyways. We can ask Wallachia for aid in some form. I think we're doing really fine. We don't need to borrow a general. We maybe need more men for our army. Or we can just gain prestige straight away. Let's just do the prestige. Prestige always helps to just rebuild your legitimacy, so I'm gonna go that route. So I'm unsure of why Serbia has their army just sitting awkwardly. I know they don't have a navy to transport, so I'm guessing maybe that's the reason. Kandar, not fans of us either. We may look into being allies of Trebizond. I would like a little bit stronger ally. I'm not sure how many men they have. They only have 3,000 right now, which they had 7,000, which compared to Karaman for a while, which, you know, is a much larger country with only 10. It's not too bad, but I don't think we're gonna go with that. Hungary, I am really glad we did not join that war, because Hungary is getting utterly crushed by Poland from one side and by Venice from the other. So this works out totally in our favor, and there we go. We have siege Crimea. We're going to take as much money as we can from them. Take Crimea and Theodora. Coalitions are not really too worried. Nothing too bad should come of it. And perfect. We have taken Crimea. We're going to core both of these. We even have enough to build some other stuff if we'd like to. Plus, typically you don't want to do... It's not worth it to build if it's under like plus 15 or so. I just don't know what else I'll do with the money. I don't have really any money to build anything. I guess I could build some Karaks. The only issue with Karaks is they're very, very expenses maintained, but building these heavy ships, we're going to build up to 3 of them. So we have a total of 3, so we're building 2. And then we're going to build 1 more cog, that way we have a capacity to transport 10 men at once. Okay, perfect. And, oh no, we're still waiting on a little bit more men. Once we get all our men, we're going to come down here and hopefully crush these rebels. So 25% chance, 75% chance our current hire will die. 25% chance to gain legitimacy. Or we can have, we lose money, but we have a 50-50 chance. Unfortunately, it's one of those things where I'm pretty sure if I waste this money, our heir will just die. So let's go for the risk. And the risk did not pay off, but succession war between those two. We should be fine. Our ruler's only 30, so he's not too old. Let's see if we can... Perfect. Wallachia, or sorry, Trebizond, we can do that. We already have military access to them, so we might as well just build an alliance with them. So we have all of our men over. We're going to go and take this province before this rebellion stuff gets any worse. We have a looming disaster. I'm unsure why we have this. I mean, I guess some of our territory is occupied, but I don't think enough of our country is occupied to really grant having that. These are, yep, of course, the Ottoman rebels. So the Ottomans will reform, which should actually be in our favor, especially if, well, speaking of the Devil Genoa's back, but if Karaman, for example, can't take care of them, that means we can take some of this land that we lost to Karaman, but Karaman's right there as well. So it's not looking good as far as us getting anything out of it. It's just more of kind of playing whack-a-mole with a bunch of Ottoman rebels that keep popping up. So I managed to get rid of that and that one, so now we're just sieging down this main fort. Once this is done, I think we'll call it a video for this part. In this video, we kind of just, again, took care of some growing pains that we've been having, and we were able to take over Theodora and capture most of Crimea. And we gained an ally in Georgia, though I'm not sure if that was necessarily the greatest decision, because our ally over there has not been holding his shit together very well. Corruption is growing, but that's not that big of a deal. And we have the threat of an Ottoman rebel uprising. Unfortunately, that's a lot of men, and we're going to harsh treat that. Well, we have successfully sieged down that province, so we're going to call it a video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please make sure to leave a like. If you're interested in seeing any more from the channel, subscribe to see whatever new things I'll be posting. And look out for the next part, part 6. Well, thanks so much once again, guys. Have a wonderful day. See you in the next part. Ciao for now.